What is up, guys? Silver Warrior here, and today I'm going to be doing more of a video that is targeted towards beginners, because most of my videos are either targeted towards people who need advice on stacking or people who want to get into stacking. But this video is going to be just for someone who really doesn't know anything about silver, and it's not going to be like a whole huge guide video, as you can tell from the title. It's just me talking about common silver purity markings and what they mean. So there's a few different ones that I want to go over, as well as some things to avoid when doing this. So I'm gonna get into the video for you. Now, the one that you're seeing all over this bullion is the 999 or 9995 purity marking, and this is going to be the one that you'll either see on bullion or you'll occasionally see in maybe something like a commemorative coin set. You'll also see it in government-issued coins, and you'll see it in rounds, like American Silver Eagles, for example. Those are pure. You'll see it in things like that, or something like the Philharmonics. Those are going to be pure as well. Anything that's issued by the government, usually, in terms of 1-ounce rounds, will be pure silver, or I should say 1-ounce coins will be pure silver, and then the rounds will usually be pure as well. Anything that's bullion is silver. So if you're ever wondering, there you go. They kind of go hand in hand. Bullion literally means pure silver. So if something is labeled as bullion, it should be pure, and that's what the 999s means. It's just below pure. It's like 99.9% silver, because it's almost impossible, or maybe it is completely impossible to refine silver to 100% pure form, but it is just about pure silver. So it's as pure as it's going to get. Now, another common marking, and this is going to be one that you're not going to see so much on rounds and everything like that, but one that's you're going to see a lot is 925. And this is sterling silver. It's 92.5%. And this is going to be on things like, jewelry, for example, is always going to be a sterling silver. It's never going to be pure. It might be below, but it's never going to be above sterling, because it'd be too malleable at that point. Another thing you might see it in is big platters or old silverware. Older things like that, older dishes, whatever, that were made of silver. Usually they'll either be plated or they'll be sterling, if they're actually, really nice, fancy old pieces. And sometimes nicer pieces can be plated and still be worth something, which I'll talk about in a minute. But for the most part, the more expensive pieces are going to be the sterling ones. And other than that, the only other thing I can think of that's sterling is I've seen the sterling silver rounds before. I don't believe any coins are really ever produced in sterling. I think it's only rounds and sometimes bars. They'll be a little bit cheaper. Unless they're like art pieces, maybe. Then they'll be actually probably more expensive, but they might be sterling silver art pieces occasionally. You might not see those too commonly, but they're out there. Trust me, you can definitely find them if you look hard enough. And other than that, nothing much to say about sterling. Just make sure that if you're buying jewelry that's supposed to be silver, make sure you can see the 925 marking on it. Otherwise, don't even bother with it. And the third really common type of the third really common marking on silver that I'd like to talk about is the 900 or coin silver marking. And what coin silver means is that it's going to be 90%. This comes from the fact that almost all older U.S. coins, everything from something like this old $half from 1832 up to these dimes from the late 1800s, whatever. All of that's going to be 90% silver. Everything that was produced in the year 1964 or before in the United States will be 90% silver, with the exception of the silver nickel. They only made them from 42 through 45. Those are 35%, and then $half from 65 through 70 were 40% silver. But for the most part, any U.S. coin that's above penny or nickel, so any dimes, quarters, $half or dollars produced before 65 will be 90% silver. And there are a few other exceptions, like 2-cent coins and things like that, but I don't think we really need to get into it. So what you'll really see the coin silver in, other than maybe, obviously coins, you might see it in big platters again, or silverware. You might be coin silver as opposed to being sterling, just to make it a little bit more durable. And the other thing you'll see it in, and this is something I have a decent amount of, is newer coins produced that are commemorative. You'll see them be coin silver. Like I have some Proof Kennedy $half that are all coin silver, or 90%, because that's what the government struck them as. Just to kind of I mean, they're not commemorative pieces, they're just proof coins. But usually the proofs will be struck in 90% silver. Not all are, though. But I also have a proof quarter. I think that one was struck in pure silver, so not all proof coins are going to be one or the other. It can vary, and commemoratives will sometimes be proof. I mean, sometimes commemoratives will be silver and 90%, or they'll be pure as well. So it all can vary. Make sure you do know what you're buying, because those coins are not going to be marked with it. You know, the seller might say it or they might not, but I can tell you what, there's not going to be any markings on the coins, mainly due to the fact that they're not seen as, investing in silver. They're seen as you're investing in a coin that is going to build value over the time. It's seen as a numismatic purchase as opposed to a pure silver one. And older coins were just, you weren't looking at an old silver quarter in 1964. You weren't looking at the silver quarter then as being silver. You didn't really care because the silver in the quarter was still worth less than 25 cents at that point. So therefore, it didn't really matter if the silver was, or if the coin contained silver or not, because the quarter was still worth, 25 cents face, which was enough for it to be worth more than the silver at the time. But now I do want to talk about a few silver markings, or a few things where you might be thinking you're getting silver because they even might have it in the title, but it's really not. For example, one really common thing is Tibetan silver. It's just something to watch out for, just because of the fact that it has no actual silver in it. Something you could easily fall for. And something else I actually want to show you myself is I have this full spoon set right here, right? So there's a little bit of a backstory to this. I've talked about it when I first got it, but it's a pretty nice older set, and I got this, maybe a year and a half ago at this point, and the guy said he paid like $25. He wanted like 30 in silver for it, so I was like, all right, man, I got you. I'll send you $30 in silver. And I thought at the time that they were marked as 90-10, which I thought meant 90% silver and 10% other, but upon closer inspection, I realized that they were marked as 90-18, which is actually a common marking for silver-plated pieces. And I got lucky this one time. This is the one time I've ever made a mistake like this, and I got really lucky because of the simple fact that these spoons, even though they were only silver-plated, they're still worth a lot more than $30, because I've never been able to find a full set of 6, but people sell the spoons individually alone for $20 a piece. And then if you had a full set with the case, it could easily be worth $200. So definitely still got lucky on that one, but usually that's not going to happen to you. I mean, the guy was not trying to rip me off or anything. He didn't even know what he had himself. He was just wanting to get rid of it for some silver, which, who can blame you in times like these, right? But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and I do hope it helps you out. That is it for this one. Peace, love, and much respect.